Okay, this is a quick look at WVHarley.com. If you look at the page when you first land on it, you can see there is a lot going on. Again, we've got the Facebook and the Instagram, which not only bleeds page rank off the page, but it also allows Facebook and Instagram to track your visitors so that when your visitors come from your website to Facebook or Instagram, they can show the ads for your competition. And it's the idea is to get traffic from Facebook and Instagram and not drive traffic from Facebook and Instagram to your website. I think they get enough traffic. You spend money on ads and everything else, and then they land on this page, and immediately you can see there's a lot going on here. We've got a privacy notice for the cookies, I guess, and there are, California Consumer Privacy Act, CCA. The site deploys cookies. Yeah, this is for cookies. There's no reason for this thing to be putting cookies on my computer at this moment. The website, there's nothing unique going on here that should make them want to put cookies on my website. I gotta pick up my dog. Then in addition to this, we've got all this stuff going on here. We've got this find your bike's value. We've got a slider here. Every test done has shown that sliders kill conversion. The idea is to have one image and a call to action in that image, and the call to action should be exactly what you're wanting them to do. You can see how confusing. I mean, look at all this with the text in the header. There was one right here, and look, this doesn't even work. When I click on it, there's nothing. I mean, it's not. Okay, it is working, but this, I mean, you can't even read this. Most of it's cut off right here, it looks like. I mean, that's just some crazy stuff. Then we've got home, motorcycle, we've got the showroom, all the inventory. The showroom and inventory are probably the same. We've got new inventory, pre-owned inventory. So we've got all inventory, new inventory, pre-owned inventory, get a quote. I mean, there's just so much. And then we've got our parts department. We'll look at that in just a second to see. Dealer spike is that you see here, this is another, this bleeds page rank. This is bleeding page rank off the page. This is bleeding page rank off the page here. If we look at the title tags, we've got Harley Davidson of West Virginia. This should be, and then we've got new used Harley Davidson motorcycles. Right here in the home page, the first thing on the page should be the header tag after your menu and everything. Should be a header tag that says, hey, the same thing that your title tag is saying. But if we look right here, I mean, there's a lot going on with all these sliders, content just sliding everywhere. It needs, if you're actually going to try and sell something with the website, it should be a lot cleaner than this. The SEO is not set up correctly. If we look at the website, it's got so many errors in it that you can't even check the errors. One error can prevent it from working correctly in a device. One error can cause it not to be ADA compliant. One error actually does cause it not to be ADA compliant according to the ADA stuff. And then you've got your load times. This website takes 6.3 seconds for the first content paint. If the first content paint's not in under a second, it's not going to get, Google's not going to be able to view all the content on the site. They're going to limit how often they come to the site, and they're going to limit how deep they view the content. So all these links are not even getting picked up by Google because the site's too slow. Then in addition to that, you've got 18.5 seconds to be fully loaded. So, I mean, if it takes 3 seconds, according to Google studies, if a website takes 3 seconds to load, it will lose 53% of its traffic. This website's losing well over 100% of its traffic to load times. So what they do is that they'll spend $1,000 on ads. The people come here, they click around for a second. If we go to the parts department, then there's no parts. I can do a parts request. So for me to get a part, I've got to fill out a form. I don't know when they're going to answer it back or what's going to happen, but I've got to fill out this form, submit it to them, and wait for them to answer me. Then I tell them what parts I'm looking for. I mean, that's just crazy. The website should be able to find and identify every single part you're looking for. I mean, it's just, and you've got the page rank from Dealer Spike, Dealer Spike's own website. If we look at Dealer Spike, I had one open here. Let's see. This was dealer.com. Who's going to win? Dealer Spike or dealer.com? Dealer.com's got 44 errors, and then they've got all this, the 50 warnings, info messages, 106. This is who's the worst developer out of the two. And, look, this thing is HTTP resource not retrieved. The HTTP status for the remote server was 403. So this thing's got so many errors in it. The errors are so bad that they can't even look. And this is the Dealer Spike. This should be like the best website they can build should be this one right here. This one right here took 18 seconds to fully load. What's Dealer Spike going to take? And then if we look at this code, let's see. I bet it's Bootstrap. Let's see, Bootstrap in here. Yep, Bootstrap, which is made for people who don't know how to code. Bootstrap is a made for the masses framework made for people who do not have the first clue how to code. It's made for amateurs. So whoever designed this website or Dealer Spike is made of amateurs. And then you've got WordPress. Has got WordPress. No, they didn't use WordPress. I mean, I'm sure they used some other crap back in if we start looking through it. But the website's not set up correctly. Dealer Spike's own website takes 12.9 seconds to fully load, 5.3 seconds. So even the developer, the people who are developing these websites for these dealerships, do not know the correct way to design and develop their own stuff. And that's obvious from all these errors and everything else. I realize there's a lot of information here and trying to figure out, but keep in mind, when somebody lands on the website, they're looking for one of three things. They're looking for a motorcycle, they're looking for parts, or they're looking for service. And that's why I set this one up that way. And like I said, we need to do more to it. But also, if we come in here and we say, okay, let's see all their inventory. We got to wait a while. And let's say, we can get a quote. Why not give me the price? Why do I have to get a quote? Why not just go ahead and give me the bottom of the line, your best price that you've got? Why go through all this hassle and everything else? But let's click on details right here. And then we've got, 3 or 4 pictures of the motorcycle. And does this, there's that. You see, and it's a good looking motorcycle. Don't get me wrong. It's a beautiful motorcycle. I like that bike. But right here, when you come in here and we come through here, we've got, it goes from the cheapest to the most expensive. So there's all these filtering, and I didn't look at all the filters that they've got over here, but when you're on this page, on the inventory page, you've got all these filters. We can filter by make, which is Harley Davidson or Harley Davidson, and we can filter by price. Why not just show the cheapest to the most expensive? The vehicle type is you got either a motorcycle or a scooter, and I mean there's nothing else. Then you've got your 3-wheeler, your Softail, your standard strike. I mean, a lot of this filtering, okay, I mean some of it may be necessary, but a lot of the filtering is really not necessary. You can see it's not. And you've got conditions, certified pre-owned, new or pre-owned. But in here, in my humble opinion, when you're, and it would come over here to by doing it from the cheapest to the most expensive, I can see exactly what the prices are. When you come in here, you can see with the 360-degree turn, you can see everything that's on the motorcycle. You can see all the different sizes of it and everything else in one sweep. You can check the availability, you can get financing, and you can compare it to other brands of motorcycles. So, and this is the page I'm still setting this thing up, and I'm trying to do these reviews to get an idea of what the competition's got so that we can figure out the best way to do this stuff. But there's just a lot of stuff like the financing. We've got a drop down for financing, and there's only one thing in the drop down, which is finance. And the parts, that there's no any parts I want, I've got to do a parts request. So you've got all these things. I mean, look, we can do service department, service appointment, parts department, parts request. The parts department and the parts request are the same thing, aren't they? No, here I go directly to the page, and in the other one, I had to click one time before I get to the page. These websites are not set up correctly. If you can figure out a way to build the ultimate website that's error-free, doesn't have any errors, and loads in under a millisecond, gets 100% on all these. The only reason we're getting 90 is because we've got dead links in the footer because I haven't put the footer together yet. But you see that all these websites have problems, every single one of them. And all I'm saying is we should be able to build a website that's error-free, that doesn't have any of these problems, and it's not so cluttered up that you're overwhelmed the second you land here. I mean, we've got all kinds of stuff. We've got all kinds of stuff going to shop now, parts department, shop now. There's no shop now. It's fill out a form now. 2 clicks from the form. I mean, it's just, this stuff is not designed correctly, and there has to be a better way to design it. And it matters to these dealerships, because these dealerships are fixing to feel the crunch when everybody can't finance the motorcycles, when people get tired of the interest rates going up, layoffs, the cost of living's going up, the cost of how much you're making, wages are going down, and the cost of living's going up, and you've got layoffs everywhere. And this is going to be, look how slow that thing loads. It's just kind of, and this is on desktop. Imagine on a cell phone how bad this would be.